Alright guys, good evening. So I'm Terrence, this is Andy, and that is Nathan, and we tried to, in this hackathon, we tried to build a simple yet effective and responsive app for the task at hand, which is for Bonnie's Vegan Diner. So basically, we have a web app as well as a React Native mobile app. We created both for our project. Andy was in charge of the React Native app, I was in charge of the backend, and Nathan was in charge of the React app. So we're just going to give you a quick demo of how our app works right now. So from the web app, I can go register, and as you can see, this is a very responsive UI. You can type in your name and such, type in an email, and such password. You can also click to show your password. I already have an account, so I'm just going to go with that. Go back here, my email. So I can log in, and basically it will show you a menu. And you can choose from appetizers, entrees, like different entrees and desserts. And basically you can click on them, it'll turn it green. And you can choose how many you want, and it'll show you the total amount of money that you will be charged for that particular item in the corner. So say I were to buy these specific items, then I would say click check out. This is the confirmation screen. It hasn't charged me money yet, but it'll show you the cost, and you can make final adjustments to what you want to buy, what you don't. I can go back and go forward and stuff. Very responsive UI. And finally, I can click finish, which brings me to the confirmation screen. This tells me what I got for how much money, and tells me the order ID. And yeah.
Actually, and if you look here, like we have kind of like a real-time system set up. So as soon as Terrence made the order, a new order came up, and the order ID matches the order ID shown here. And so then, as like a staff member, because this is like the admin dashboard, I could either like cancel or fulfill the order once I've created it. So like, and if I say I accept it, then it'll go here, which either marks it green for fulfilled or red for canceled, like so. And so you can kind of just choose either one.
Okay. So do you guys want to walk through the same exact demo with the React app?
That'd be great, yeah.
In React Native?
Okay, sure.
So when you first open the app, you're supposed to be shown to a login screen, but I already logged on, so my mistake. And there's also a register page on the from the login screen, which I also skipped. But if you're already logged in, you get sent immediately to this menu page. And as you can see, you have appetizers. There's also pictures and a name and a description. There's also prices. There's entrees, and there's also desserts. And if you press on one of them, the border turns green, and also there's a little counter to the right to indicate that you have kind of selected it. And if you want to increase the quantity, you could just go like this. Or if you don't want any, you could just subtract it all. And you may see this little star in the corner here. And that's actually because when I was demoing this, I was just only picking this. And we have a recommendation system set up that basically looks at your previous orders and your most recent order and the items you picked, and like kind of gives you recommendations based off of that. So if, for example, if I want chip and dips and like a rigatoni pepperoni, yeah. So then I press next for checkout, and I get redirected to this checkout screen. And this shows my name, my email, also a summary. So 1 chips and dips and 1 rigatoni pepperoni, also the money. And if this is a read only, so I can't really change anything. So if I don't like the order, I could always just go back and then like add one more if I wanted one more. And
is that toolbar down the right side part of the app itself that a user is going to see?
No, that's
okay.
Part of the emulator.
Okay.
Yes.
So how would they go back?
Well, on your phone you have a back button.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just, yeah.
got it.
And so from here, this is the checkout screen. And then if you want to continue with your order, you would press confirm. It would do some money payment thing.
And then the order shows up in real time here, and then I can either accept it or decline it. Oh, actually, we forgot to show me the email thing.
Oh.
Yeah, we use the SendGrid API to like send emails to notify you if your order was ready.
Yes.
Wait, that was from our previous demo. I'm pretty
No
sure.
way, no. Just
If you would like to
Yeah,
accept it
I
right
have
now.
to accept it now, and then when I accept it, it'll tell you that your order is ready. Okay, yeah, that's the new one, and then it just shows you like the subject is your order is ready.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the reason we use React Native is so that it's cross-platform across iOS and Android.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's super nice.
So, yes, we'd like to talk a little bit about our tools, what we use, some challenges that came up, that we crossed during our endeavor. So, we had a pretty big focus on good user interface and good user experience, so we spent quite a bit of time designing the various UI. Of course, not everything that you see here was eventually implemented, but we followed generally the same design language that we originally came up with. We also came up with similar designs using the same design language for our mobile apps. And after design, we have our back-end and front-end infrastructure. So we use Cloudflare for reverse proxy and HTTPS SSL security. Redirects to, we have basically a private Docker registry, our own Jenkins build server, as well as MongoDB Atlas for storage and MongoDB. Our services hosted on DigitalOcean, comprised of a Kubernetes cluster comprised of DigitalOcean droplets, each running Docker containers, eventually hosting the service on Node.js and Express.js. So also connected to the SendGrid API.
Is that all implemented, or wow?
It's a little overkill, but we had some of the infrastructure set up already.
Okay.
For the previous project, so we decided to.
Yeah, so the Kubernetes cluster it's sort of like a general purpose, so we had it beforehand. We just like to put our projects on the cluster
Right.
for better performance and reliability.
Okay, cool.
So that's about it.
So what language did you use to actually build? So you mentioned React. Is it just JavaScript then?
Yeah, mostly JavaScript, some HTML,
Okay.
CSS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go back to the order or the admin section for the restaurant staff? Can you maybe display that? Because I missed that.
Okay, yeah, so here it is. Yeah, so you can kind of see the timestamp, ID, the order details. And if you kind of scroll down, like, these are kind of orders that we haven't accepted yet, and I could choose to if I wanted. Also, like, it expands to fit larger orders if need be.
So am I looking at all the orders in the system or just the ones that haven't been fulfilled yet?
These are every order
Okay.
so far, yeah.
Yeah, so new orders get added to the top, so you don't have to constantly scroll down to see new orders, although the history's all there.
Okay.
Can you add a new order for real time?
Yeah, I will literally add new order right now. I will eat a ridiculous amount of vegan strawberry cheesecake, which will cost a total of.
Yeah, it doesn't show the price on here, which I guess we forgot to do, but it wouldn't have been terribly difficult. But yeah, so then I can either accept or decline that. Like, say I choose to decline it, then we just pop up there and show that I declined it. And in the database, okay, because the system that we use is that it's not reacting based on what the user has done. It's actually reacting based on the database itself. So the fact that it's here is not because I click on the cancel button. It's because the database actually marked it as canceled.
Got it.
So that way you know that the data shown is not just like a client-side thing. It's like actually reliable and reflected.
Plus, you could have two restaurant staff using it at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So the time on there is just like X minutes ago.
Yeah.
There's no actual
Yeah,
timestamp.
we feel like that's a little actually more convenient for us, like restaurant staff. You know that sometimes it's like, okay, if it says 12:35, you have to do like a little calculation in your head to see like, okay, how long have these people been waiting?
Right.
It's easier to just see, okay, 5 minutes ago, you know, like they get a better sense of how long their customers have been waiting.
Okay. And then the export orders, does that work?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, that's on number.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, basically, it exports all the orders as a JSON file. So at the bottom here, you can open it up, and then it just shows you. It's like a direct kind of import of like the database itself, which is not the most ideal, but it was what we could make.
Yeah, you can load it into certain tools, and you can pull useful data off of it. Although it may not be as useful as straight up Excel CSV data.
Okay. Does the JSON data have the timestamp, or does it have X number of minutes ago?
Yeah, actually it does.
Okay.
The timestamp is embedded as the ID, so you can always just extract
Oh,
it.
the timestamps are actually right here. So at the very
Oh, yeah,
bottom, you
never
see
mind.
like order time,
Yeah,
cancel
there it is.
time. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I guess there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have fulfilled time?
Yes. So it will only have fulfilled time if it was fulfilled.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. And then can you go back to the UI? So those other two tabs there, menu items and staff.
Oh yeah, okay. So menu items kind of shows the current menu items as well as the popularity, which was a feature that we were talking about. Which
Yep.
is also
That's on our spec too at the page
Yeah.
4.
It's
so.
relatively crude as of right now, but basically what it does is it tracks how many people have bought it. So if someone bought it 5 times, the popularity would go up by 5. And the idea is to have it average out over a week. So you could see the relative popularity of certain food items over others.
and like you can kind of see that like Terrence ordered like 50 vegan strawberry cheesecakes,
Yeah,
so his
we're-
popularity is like skyrocketed to like 45 as opposed to the other ones. And you can also actually add a menu item. Oh shoot. The UI is kind of bad for this because we didn't have too much time to polish it, but like you could do like new food and then some description, category entrees, like $50, and then you would choose an image. For the web UI, I wasn't able to implement that, but for the mobile UI, it would be able to like show the image.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention, we use DigitalOcean Spaces to do
Oh, yeah.
file storage for our pictures.
So if I added the image, it would show up like real time as well. So like you see here now, new food is a new food item, and if you went to the order screen, you would be able to actually see it as a new item. If I went to the order screen, like you would notice that in the entrees, new food is a new thing you can select. Yeah.
Okay. And then authentication for the app.
Yes.
yeah.
So we used our own authentication system, so we didn't choose to do OAuth or other third-party authentication-based systems. We used a very secure system, including HTTPS with SSL, and using the bcrypt authentication library to ensure the safety of our users' passwords.
So what can they sign in at? Like, how do they sign in? That's what I'm asking. It's awesome that you have it all working. I'm just curious what, do they use a username and password? Do they put their name in?
Yeah, so we showed you guys this earlier. We basically, we use email and password. So the email is partially for identification, partially for the SendGrid API. So if you put an email, that they can send you an email to notify you about your order.
Very cool. So it's name, email, and password.
Yeah, so the name is for like colloquial use in the app.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
What do you guys hope to do with this moving forward?
We were kind of hoping to make it more like generalizable, kind of make it more broad, and because right now the use case of this was a bit specific. We were thinking maybe making like kind of a library sort of thing, so that any business with a similar kind of model would be able to use this.
Yeah, so not restricting it simply to food and restaurants, but opening up to any use cases where you can purchase a service or product remotely and physically interact with it later. So we may very well open source our code later on, so other people can take advantage of our code and sort of do what they want with it.
Cool. Have you uploaded it to GitHub?
Yes.
Awesome.
There are 4 branches on GitHub, 1 for mobile, 1 for web, and 2 for backend. So 1 would be the development environment and 1 would be the production environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? Okay, great job, guys. What size t-shirts do you guys want? You got everything. Medium?
I'll take a small.
Small?
I'm thinking medium.
Here's a small. Well, good job, guys.
Is that everyone?
That's everyone.
What about that guy who left? Do you think he's coming back? Did he quit?
Yeah.
Oh.